have been with us since the beginning of creation. Every major religion mentions their existence. Although they keep a low profile, they are always with us. Sometimes they have been even known to intercede in the affairs of mankind in times of crisis or spiritual renewal. We call them angels. The word itself means a messenger, or one who is sent out by God, the oneness, the Great Spirit, the Creator, or whatever we choose to call the all-encompassing divinity. As emissaries, these beings are sent into this world to bring messages of light and love, of inspiration and hope, of warning and of healing. In this program, we will meet several human angels who are spreading angelic light into our world. We will experience the celestial visions of contemporary artists who are tuning in to higher dimensions. We will also discover how we too can consciously connect with the angelic realms and cooperate with their loving, harmonious energies to bring more joy and peace into our lives and into the lives of others. Come now, open your minds and open your hearts to angels.
For me, the angels are the creative energies that are in charge of nature and all manifestation on all levels of life. I first came across and contacted the nature angels, which were responsible for particular species and held a pattern and energy for that particular species. And then later on, I contacted the angels of qualities, which are, to me, the breakup of the energies of God into love, into various qualities, like the rainbow is broken up from the white light.
Well, to me, angels are distinct beings. They are sentient beings, beings of another species. They are not in physical form. They are beings of light. In fact, my angel has told me that angels are beings of light. Humans are beings of love. And so they are discrete energy patterns. They have energetic coherence. And because they vibrate at a much higher frequency than we do, being earthlings, we're grounded and, you might say, a lot more dense than angels. Because they vibrate at a much higher frequency, they're not normally apparent to us through our visual senses. Although through our spiritual senses, our psychic senses, sometimes you can have a sense of them. But they are beings that have never been in human form. Although they can assume human form, and sometimes do, more often, though, they work through us humans.
Many people are asking around the world today, what are angels? They are the aspects of consciousness that embody the love of God that accompany each one of us throughout our life. And the guardian angel is the closest to humanity.
Angels are beings. That's the first thing. They have beingness in the same way as we have beingness. They're personalities. You can separate one from another, although their sense of oneness is much more accentuated than ours is. So they kind of slip in and out of each other, I think, conceptually. They come in clans. They don't have childhoods in the same way we do. They tell us that they're direct emanations or direct creations of the Mother Spirit, the Great Mother Spirit, which means that they fall under the aegis of the Goddess, which is particularly relevant at this point, obviously, in the unfolding of what's going on the planet.
They don't have the same emotional body. They don't have the same emotional system that we do, which is why, for example, an angel will never come in and criticize you. If you hear a critical voice, that ain't your angel. That's something else. And so they are perfectly neutral and perfectly accepting about the way that you are, even if you're not, in fact, especially if you're not. So they don't have emotional bodies, they don't have physical bodies, they don't have a realm of physical experience, material experience that we do. And sometimes people say, well, what is the difference between an angel and a spirit guide, for example? Or my grandmother died and she's my angel. No. Spirit guides invariably have been in human form at one time or another. So when they speak, the information that they give is much more materially based and can even be much more specific. When an angel talks to you, the words that come through are universal. So while they will apply absolutely to me, if you were to listen to them or hear them, you'd say, yes, that figures, that's true.
Angels are our friends that come from the angelic kingdom, just as we have friends in the human kingdom. There is this incredible group of beings known as the guardian angels, who I call our celestial companions, who walk with us every step of the way on our path in life. And they're a gift that's given to everyone universally. It doesn't have anything to do with religion. It's a gift that's given to everyone, and your guardian angel is with you from the moment of your birth. Is with you every heartbeat and every breath of your life, to guide you, to protect you, to inspire you, to give you messages of hope, to encourage you. When things seem to be down or in a depressed state, they're there with no judgment, saying to you to choose again and to get up and move forward in your life. When I was 11 years old, one evening there came through the corner of the room a beam of light that then grew in size and in fact encompassed the whole ceiling area and took on the shape of a canopy that draped over top of me. The light continued to expand and grow, and I remember feeling as it grew in the room, there was an energy of protection, an energy of great comfort around me, as if I was being watched over. And I saw a face then come into form, and I knew immediately, just from the expression of the face, that this was a friend, a very close friend.
My first contact with the angels was when we were trying to grow a garden at Findhorn, and as I made this contact with the angel, the overlighting spirit of a garden pea, simply because we were trying to grow that in our garden, and I knew all about it because we'd grown it in the garden that my father had in Canada. The first message that I translated from the angels was that they were going about its business and that wished that we humans did, because we were great beings of light, and why didn't we use our capabilities? And when we did, we could work with them and save a planet. I said, I've got my meaning over, goodbye. And I think that's a message that all of the angelic kingdom is trying to tell us at the moment. Be what we truly are. Claim our own divinity, and then we can work with them.
From the time I was a little child, I could see angels. And it was sad for me that not everyone was able to respond to the loving, nurturing calls of their angels. I could see them. And I loved nature. I spent a great deal of time out in nature, and I knew that there was this other realm that was accessible to humanity.
It was a long process and a many-stage process, if you like, but I kind of fell into it. I had a near-death experience in 1973, and up to that point, angels hadn't even started to enter. I mean, if I gave 2 thoughts to angels in my entire life, I'd have been surprised. My belief system didn't include them, but when I died, I saw the angels. And in making my decision to come back, it's this literally reality just fell away, and there were just angels as far as I could see. And that also was when I met my 2 guardian angels for the first time, although I had no idea that's what they were at that point.
Well, I must say I came to the angels kicking and screaming. I was not a believer to begin with. In fact, resisted meeting my angel for at least 8 years before she was finally able to get through my stubbornness and my resistance and make herself known to me. And it was really through the urging of a very close friend who insisted that he kept feeling there was a presence of angels around me that I finally did make contact. And because I was a disbeliever, when she came through, I was so convinced that it totally transformed my understanding of the angelic realm and of my own life as well, because she came in and started to tell me something that I didn't want to hear. And so I knew that I was not making it up, because I certainly wouldn't have made anything up that I didn't want to hear. I knew that. And yet, when she spoke with such compassion and clarity. There was no judgment. There was no sense of criticism. There was just the sense of a very, very dear friend who wanted to give me information that I really needed to have in order to advance my life.
One of the ways that people can commune with the angels, and that is to open themselves to experiencing their presence in your own life, is to be still. In our own modern day lives, we go so fast at such rapid pace that if someone was trying to get in contact with us, it would be very difficult because we have so many other distractions going on. I encourage people in their home to set up a space that is sacred, where they can just sit down. It can be a rocking chair, a very comfortable rocking chair. It doesn't have to be an elaborate design in your home. Something comfy that when you sink into that chair, you allow yourself to know that you are stepping out of your fast-paced world and you're allowing yourself to slow down and to experience calm and serenity and peace, and opening yourself to experience the angelic kingdom. It's much easier for them to make contact in that mode. They can, of course, touch you anywhere that you are on your path, and they do that many times when you find a book that seems to fall off a shelf at you, or you feel inspired to turn on the radio in your car, and a song seems to be played just for you. The angels can reach you wherever you are, but I say to people, we are experiencing a cooperation of kingdoms. So let's do our part by positioning ourselves in a moment of silence.
What people can do to open to the angels is, first of all, drop your sense of unworthiness. For pity's sake, drop a sense that an angel wouldn't hang around with you. And speaking very personally, that was one of the problems that I had, one of the reasons it was so difficult for me to contact or allow my angel to make contact with me. I didn't think an angel would be bothered with me. And so you must drop your sense of unworthiness or your fear of disappointment, because your angel's with you right this minute, and you can feel it. And I say it because it doesn't have gender, but you can feel the loving presence of your angel right this minute if you just allow that you are worthy.
The first thing to do is to realize that it's possible. This is the thing that prevents most of us from getting there, the fact that it's absolutely our birthright to be in contact with our angels. In fact, in that wonderful book of Jita Milash, Talking with Angels, the angels there say, talking with us is perfectly natural. In such a wonderful way that it kind of removes doubt. And the angels who broke through to a small group of us in Toronto in the early 80s were so overjoyed that they could talk to us, and they could be with us, that carries a lot of baraka, spiritual force, when you know that the other side wants to talk to you.
And actually, I think any time that one is being loving, one is in connection with the angels. One doesn't need a technique. But the hard part of it is bringing that love into one's everyday living. And I think as we do it, and the more we do it, the more we'll find we're connected with that area of ourselves, which is angelic, and the area of the rest of the world, which is loving and angelic. I could tell when I got into this state of joy and purity and love and got used to that, being in that state, so I could tell right away. And then I could communicate with the angels. And I feel if we communicate or try to tune into them when we're angry, upset, we're going to get an angry, upset answer. We see through our own eyes. And if we're functioning in that level, we're going to get answers from that level.
If we can envision a glorious being accompanying us who has loved us consistently from the time we were created, and despite our ignoring of this being, it has always stayed faithful to us. And as we remember a long-lost friend that you might not have seen since you were a child, if we can get into that attitude of soul and remember that this has been a being who has stayed faithful to us since our earliest beginnings. What will happen in our soul is we will be filled with an enormous sense of gratitude. But there's another thing. If we remember what the angels are doing, they're not just flying around with higher levels of consciousness and trying to help humanity. They're doing something more. They always have their eye on God.
Gently close your eyes and allow yourself to feel the sacredness of this moment, the sacredness within your own being. Whisper within your heart your desire, your intent to commune with your guardian angel. Now allow yourself to choose a color that you would like to give to your guardian angel as part of this experience. It may be a favorite color, or it may be one that is calling out to you and saying, "Use me." Once you've chosen this color, focus again on your heart and see a pinpoint of light that is the size of a pearl. It is the color that you have chosen. And as you breathe in and as you breathe out, the color expands and is filling your whole inner torso with this vibration, with this sensation, which is the love of your guardian angel for you. It fills your whole inner being, every cell, every molecule, every atom. Know that it moves to the top of your head, out your shoulders, down your arms, to your fingertips, all the way down your body to your toes. You are being filled to the brim with your guardian angel's love. There is so much love for you, it moves through your pores and encircles you and encapsulates you in a cocoon of light and love. At this time, you will have a sensing as to whether your angel is making itself known in a feminine or a masculine presence. Angels are androgynous, but you will have a sensing of one way or the other because angels do this to help us have a closer and intimate relationship with them. Once you have a feeling, again within your heart, as to which gender your angel is presenting itself to you, I ask that you think of a name that you would like to give to your guardian angel. This is an offering, a gift of love that you give to your angel as a sign that you believe. It will float up from your being like an effervescent energy. It's almost as if the name comes out of nowhere. You hear it for the first time. It may be a favorite childhood name. It may be a funny name, maybe a biblical name. Just allow the name to float up from inside of you. And once you've heard the name, then say it out loud and welcome your guardian angel into your life. As you feel the welcoming energy, the opening of your consciousness to allow the realization that yes, you are not alone. You will become aware of a heightened energy that is behind you. It is your guardian angel who is now enveloping you in its wings, giving you an angelic hug and saying to you, I have always been here. I am with you now, and I will be with you every step down your path of life. Every heartbeat and every breath, I am here with you. Be still for a moment and allow yourself to receive a message being told to you by your guardian angel. It may be a word, it may be a phrase, but your angel will let you know with a very special message of all the support and love that is being given to you eternally. As you allow yourself to bring your focus back into the room, give thanks to your angel for being into your life at this time, and know that this experience will continue to expand and grow and bless your life.
angels can help to heal illness, poverty, anger, despair. There is an abundance of pure healing energy, joy, creativity, and unwavering inner strength available for you at all times. Protect these gifts. Dedicate your life to the splendor and oneness of purpose all angels radiate and share. When given permission, your angel will help you untangle seemingly impossible situations, support you through your worst fears, amaze you with brilliant thoughts and exquisite perceptions, bathe you in glorious feelings of ecstasy, joy, love, peace.
On a different level from the guardian angels are the nature beings, devas, elementals, and nature spirits, who tend to the process of life here on Earth. The now classic story of the Findhorn community in Scotland brings us to an understanding of how to communicate with this kingdom in a way which may help us create a more sustainable relationship with our own environment.
The nature spirits, or devas as we call them, oversee the waters and the land and plants and trees and even the wind, all of the aspects of nature. And for many people, it's even easier to get in touch with the nature spirit than it is to get in touch with the angels. There are some who would say that the nature spirits being involved with the physical plant of this planet are closer to us in some way, and their vibration is a little denser. So people have an ability to feel their energy, even if they don't see them. People who walk in nature very often feel closer to God. And so I would say that the nature spirits and the devas and all of the infinite numbers of names that they have are cousins of the angelic realm and are very open to our interaction. In fact, if you have a house plant, you've got a nature spirit, because there isn't anything in nature that isn't superintended in one way or another by a spirit or deva who overlights it.
And literally anything that has that sort of intelligence can be communicated with. And I think what Findhorn and Perelandra and countless other people working in their apartments, working in their gardens have found out, that is that by directly listening to nature, to listening to the nature spirits, that one can both have a marvelous relationship with nature, in that the nature seems to burgeon around you, green fingers are the order of the day. But since so few people are actually addressing the devas directly, you can pretty much rely on the fact that if you speak to the devas directly about the kind of weather conditions that would be good for whatever you're trying to do, if it's for the best of all, you can pretty much guarantee on getting the weather conditions you want 9 times out of 10. Which is quite an eye-opener for a lot of people.
I would tune into the vegetable in question. I had to know it. I had to have a feeling of the vegetable, and later of the flowers. If I didn't know them, I would maybe say a flower, pick one and live with it for a few days, so I got the feel of it, because each one is unique, each species is unique, and it has a special vibration that I was attuning to. And we would ask questions, and I would get answers saying yes or no, or put it in the shade, or it would be better if you did that, or do it both ways and see what happens. But I think the main thing was, it was an attitude that kept coming up. The angels kept saying, when you go out to a garden, be loving. Treat everything as loving. Let children be in the garden, because their energies are so pure, and that is helpful to growing things. And how do you contact the angels? Appreciate the plant, love it. Show your appreciation for life, and you open a door to a bigger dimension in yourself.
And so we are never separate from the spiritual world. It's not only that we experience the workings of heaven when we go to sleep, or when we have a vision, or when we're in church, or when we are out in nature. It's everywhere, consistently, both within and without.
It took me a long time to become aware of the angels of cities, because I didn't like cities. I had the usual feeling that it was concrete jungles, and I used to go in and go to movies and the libraries and all the facilities, the shopping of cities, but get out of the jungle as quickly as I could into the peace and quiet of the countryside. So the first time that I came to one, I thought, is there an angel here? And I tuned in, and sure enough, I got an angel who said that it was about time that I was communicating with them, and that it was having a hard time dealing with all the energies of a city, and that because of this, it would be glad to have our love. And that certainly changed my idea towards cities at all. The fact that they would be asking to have our love made me feel completely different about a city.
The first thing is to realize urban situation is, in a sense, a massive, both distraction on the one hand and a remembrance on the other, because there's no way that we can get away from actually practicing the higher way, if you like, walking our talk in the city. In nature, you can get away with it because it's all doing it. In the city, you've got to come from that place, otherwise you go under. So the first thing is to regard the city as being a teaching tool. It's an aid to spiritual growth. And like having a relationship, it speeds up, it accelerates spiritual growth, spiritual understanding, spiritual intelligence. And what is a city but just a massive, massive relationships?
We're often asked why the angels are making such inroads on our lives these days, why we're seeing them on television and in movies and in popular songs. And the answer is that they're under instruction to do so, because as we approach the millennium, we are all being asked to become, if you will, bearers of light. We're all being asked to carry more light and to take onto us those qualities that the angels represent, qualities of compassion and tenderness, caring for our brothers and sisters all over the planet, and caring for our Mother Earth as well. And so the angels are making personal contact with us to help us develop these qualities of kindliness and caring, and to allow us to take on, through our open hearts, more light, so that we can put more light out on the planet. So when we see a homeless person, or we are dealing with people who have terminal diseases, instead of really pulling back and saying, oh, how terrible, we can be present in light and in love. We can extend that light to other people. We can extend that light to our planet to help to heal the ills that we've created, because we are meant to ascend. Each one of us is meant to be the Messiah at this time. Each one of us is meant to bear the light and to bring the planet into higher consciousness.
The age that we're experiencing here on the earth, I like to call the info age. It's a time of great communication, not only technological communication here on the earth, but communication from other realms. And the angels are here in abundance to inspire us through this time of change and transition that we're experiencing in our own lives, and that is being experienced on a global level as well. The reason the popularity, the reason that we are choosing to look to them in greater numbers is in fact because the things in our lives we thought we could count on. We thought we would have job security for our life. We thought we would be married to one person for an entire life. We're finding those things are not as dependable, not as stable as we had hoped they would be. So we look to that which is eternal. And we find in our search this kingdom of beings known as angels, who have been there through history, who have been there referred in the biblical times and in the Bible. And we look to them, and I found in my own work, the angels have said, if you take the word angel and break down the letters, A-N-G-E-L, and apply the words to accept now God's eternal love, that's the message they bring.
I think what's happening is a miracle. The miracle has to do with, finally, there are experiences where humans are led to become open in a new level of consciousness that they were never able to do before. Humanity as a whole is entering through the threshold of consciousness. They're facing their demons as well as they're facing beginnings of the entry into the spiritual realms.
So we've got this sort of, in a sense, conspiracy from the inner levels going on, a divine conspiracy which is emanating through the angelic level as a revival of angels in popular culture. Ordinary people, you, me, are having these angelic visitations. It's not happening to the priests and well, maybe to a few politicians, but not many of them. But it's happening to the ordinary people. So it's coming up from the inside, and any rebellion, any revolution, any evolution that has guts comes from the inside. It's not imposed from the top. The revolutions that are imposed from the top tend to break down very quickly. But evolutions that come from the inside tend to really grab hold.
You know, especially now, the angels, I believe, are being used by God and have decided, you know, whoever makes these decisions, you know, the angels themselves are more obvious to us, and I'm sure that it's because they want to be. The fact that they were on the cover of Time magazine was because they were ready to be on the cover of Time magazine, not just because we finally, you know, we didn't discover them. They said, here we are, folks. And I think they're saying that more and more often.
So the interest in angels is not orchestrated really by human concerns. I think that it's something that is originating from the central creator and has been passed down through the various different hierarchies to the guardian angels. And the guardian angels are responsible for everyone during our sleep life as well as in between birth and death. And so when we go to sleep at night and we're in the presence of the spiritual realms, more so than we are when we're conscious, the angels have the opportunity of infusing us with ideas or inspirations to get us to think about angels. And so many times we'll hear that people have awakened one day and they never thought of angels, perhaps on Tuesday or prior to their life, and suddenly they woke up on Wednesday and saw a book at an airport or some particular store, and they suddenly feel like that's their lost subject. Why didn't they think of angels before? I mean, now angels are the important area of their life to dedicate their whole work to. And it's not something that you can explain as being orchestrated by anything other than an inner process. And I think it's so remarkable when we think about how it's happening on a global level.
Angels are not mushy marshmallows. In fact, you might say sometimes you run into what I would call a kick-ass angel. And that is an angel that comes in very, very forcefully and makes its guidance known to you. And one of the ways you know that is sometimes if you are in, as I have been, in a group of people and a thought comes, which is quite apart from what the conversation may be going along as, but that thought is so with you in your mind that you cannot get it out of your head. And until you actually articulate that thought and put it out, you're not going to go anywhere. You are absolutely stopped. Because angels do come to us as intuitions or thoughts, which we then feel prompted to or even pushed to express. And invariably, when we do express that, there is somebody that needed to hear exactly what we were saying. So once we can divest ourselves of the ego mind that says, oh no, I can't say that, and understand that we are all actually channels, transmissions, transmitters, vessels for this higher information, then we can indeed perform the function that we are being trained for, which is to spread the word and to spread the light.
The angels are extremely powerful entities. They're not the mamby-pamby kind of Christmas tree decorations that a few thousand years of Catholicism would have us think. They're much more, in a sense, implacable, if you like. Their power is a very supportive one, and it's mixed with a sensitivity. And it's mixed with a sweetness and a tenderness that you can kind of take a look at an angel and say, oh, boy, that's such a sweet presence. But if you look behind that sweetness, there's all that power coming with it. And of course, I mean, there are different levels of the hierarchy of angels as well. And they are hierarchical because they are creatures of function. So an archangel's function will be different from an angel. And what they tell us is that they when they manifest to us, they often manifest in terms of their size is a direct relationship to their function. So an archangel might appear as being 300, 400, 500 feet tall, for instance, or if you see them in a cloud formation, you know, half a mile long.
And there is a truth to the subject of angels that's not a pleasant one, but we do need to keep it in mind, and that is that there are angels of resistance to the light. If you call them angels of darkness, that's true, they are dark, but we must remember that they do have a potential to become light. We must not fear them. As soon as we fear them, we're in trouble. But we got to take them seriously and be aware that there is a battle that we are experiencing on the inner planes and in our lives.
Within the angelic sense, a group of angels decided to, if you like, move further into matter, and this is what we've come to know as the fallen angels. They're emerging from the core of matter right now and paying off their own dues, taking responsibility for the creation that they produced by making decisions that allowed them to fall into matter.
At one time, everybody was one. There were no fallen angels, but one angel decided, a very great angel, named Lucifer, decided that he would rather have his own operation. He would like to show off light, but he wanted to have his own light. He wanted to have his own light show, basically. And the pattern is still there. It's not just right that we have light. I'm saying something different. I'm saying that it's got to be the light of God. If it's the light of God, then you're not on the do-it-yourself plan. You're on the universal plan.
At this point in time, it's about directly contacting our own companion angel, and that in itself is a protection from external negative forces, if you like. And this really, when you boil it down, there's such thing as negative forces. There are elements that haven't discovered the light yet.
In my experiences, the angels are above polarity. And I first became aware of this when I communicated with an angel of joy, and I realized that it was also the angel of sorrow. The first one I communicated with was serenity, and I realized, again, it was above polarity. There were no positive or negatives in that, and I didn't think much about it because that's just the way it was, so I accepted it. And of course, realizing that I could not contact the angels when I was upset or emotional or angry, I had to get out of that state of myself to communicate with the angels. And then, of course, I began thinking about it more and more and realizing that there's a lot to be gained from this idea of polarity, that the seed essence of life contains positive and negative, and that one isn't better than the other, and that both are essential for the ongoingness of life.
The angels encourage me in my life to know that one of the greatest services that we can do for ourselves is to know that we deserve love and to accept love and to be gracious to ourselves in our lives. That takes on many forms. It may take a nurturing meal that we enjoy, just allowing ourselves from having eaten so much fast food or food that we pick up on the run, that we sit down at the table and we visualize that we are in fact sharing the meal with our angel, and that it takes on a very sacred energy, and we savor all that we're going to eat and drink. There are so many ways to align yourselves with tapes, with videos, with books. It's much more difficult to align yourself when you are in the everyday experiences of life. So when you are having this occurrence of eating, and having occurrences of driving in your car, the angels say to use these opportunities to think about loving yourself, having music on in the car that uplifts you and inspires you, rather than always being tuned in the news. Even though it's very informative, at times it can weigh us down. So responding to our lives with love by putting beautiful things in our lives, beautiful people in our lives, and beautiful moments that we fill with those things that only we know inside ourselves that inspire us.
It's absolutely vital to come in with a pure and loving heart. And we've all got that available, you see. We can all be open-hearted, we can all be open-minded. It's available to us, but we have to choose. And the universe works on a need-to-know basis. So if we don't know something, we can't really choose it. But the moment you know it, then you can make an intelligent choice for that kind of operation, for that kind of thinking. And being open-hearted and just coming from very simple point of reference is marvelously available to each of us.
As we move into this meditation, I'd like you to feel or imagine that you can feel your angel's presence all around you now. Perhaps gently holding you, embracing you, hugging you. Perhaps standing in front of you or over to the side, but get a sense of the angel now, somewhere near your body. And as we go into this meditation, know that your angel will come with you and assist you and lighten your way. So take a good, deep, cleansing breath in. Release the breath fully and allow your body to relax. And another good, deep, cleansing breath in. And now as you release the breath, let your eyes gently close if you'd like, or keep them slightly opened. And begin to feel into a space in your heart. And feel the energy from your angel moving toward you. Filling up your heart. Filling it with light. Filling it with love. Filling it with caring. Go now into that space of your heart where your deepest heart's wish lies waiting, and begin to focus on what it is that you wish for yourself. Good health, good friends, a work that fulfills you and sustains you and serves the light, a home that reflects your highest hopes and feelings. Take a few moments now just to reflect on what your deepest heart's wish is for yourself. Joining hearts with your angel, know that your deepest heart's wish will always come true. And now, extend yourself beyond your heart into your high heart, into the heart that connects you with all of your brothers and sisters, all human beings on this planet. And into this high heart, go now and focus on your deepest heart's wish for human beings on this planet at this time. Your deepest heart's wish for the planet herself. Take a few moments now and look at that. Know that joining hearts and wishes with your angel will help to make these dreams, these wishes, come true. That as you bring more light and more more life and more love to your life and to the life of all those around you, these deep heart's wishes will be brought into manifestation on the planet. So as you breathe in now, breathe in the light, breathe in the love, and breathe them out again into the world. You can begin to bring yourself gently back now, becoming aware of the sounds in the room and the sounds outside the room too. Aware of your body, sitting in the chair or couch where you are. And when you feel ready, take a good, deep, cleansing breath in. Release the breath fully and open your eyes.
Opening our hearts, opening our minds, also opens us to greater opportunities for planetary service. Spiritual seekers and mystics tell us that the greater the light we put into this world, the higher and more evolved will be the angelic beings who come to our assistance. With what's happening in the world today, in this time of accelerated awakening and change, wouldn't many people welcome the intervention of the archangels? Would you be prepared to take that leap?
The deepest level of human activity has always realized that we are moving as a unit. We are, if you like, one being that has differentiated into many different forms. The game is much larger than we have had any idea, because we've been coming from adolescence. We've been growing up. As individuals, as we grow up, we draw to us more complex relationships. And as spiritual beings, as we awaken, we draw to us more complicated, more complex, more rich, more textured spiritual relationships. So the angels will come to us the more fully, the more we decide to live our life for the goodness of all. If our life is aligned with our own highest principles and the highest principles of our brothers and sisters, then, if you like, the angels can align themselves with us, and literally miracles can occur through us. And I speak collectively, because it is a collection. Each one of us is a collection, if you like, of spiritual beings. Inside us we have our own soul, We have our personality. We have the God, the Creator that lives within us. We have the Mother Spirit, of which our bodies are made. We have the Father Spirit. We have the Christ Spirit in us. We have the Spirit of truth that allows us to discern whether something is truthful or something is erroneous. So we're, in a sense, a confluence of spiritual beings. And by getting our own act together, by getting our house together, we align ourselves with this much larger framework and can consequently become much more valuable to not only to ourselves and our own spiritual path, but much more value to the larger game.
So you align your energies with the angels. You can do that by toning, making a lovely sound, singing, just singing any kind of song that makes you feel happy and free. Again, when you begin to sing, you're opening your throat and your ears. You're opening that area that energetically in your body that is where the angels come into us. They literally come in through our ears and our throat. So much of the practice that I teach in the workshops is ways of opening the throat. So humming or singing or toning, doing fun things. I mean, just because they're angelic doesn't mean that you can't have fun. And so aligning your energies with the angels really entails that. And then finally, listening. Or opening yourself to sense whatever signs or ways that they have of getting in touch with you, whether it's a touch on your shoulder or feeling of your heart just expanding and getting larger and fuller. And then when that happens, say, yes. Say, thank you. I know you're here. And more good things will happen.
I've been very lucky in my life in that I feel that I was so far away from love and God that I was given a special training, and that I realized that God is within and that love is within, and that this first experience that I had with God, I felt I was part of the whole universe. I was no longer alone, and every contact I made enhanced that love, because it was always bringing out the positive in me. I always emerged from this contact with God or with the angels feeling a better person, a happier person. And I realized that's part of all of us. If I felt joy in my heart, when I contacted the angels, I must have had a faculty in me that could respond to joy. And that as we resonate to any of these angelic qualities, we have those within ourselves. We are, in fact, angels in the making, so to speak. And the more we use those faculties, the more they take over our life and change us. And I always hoped after every contact I'd feel that lovely feeling would last a little bit longer. And I think through the years it helped. It certainly helped to change me.
You cannot just connect with your angel and then go on as you were before. It's not possible within the realm of creation. And the reason is you have to change. It's an inherent part of working with angels that one agrees to change themselves all the time. Every single second, one has to agree to become more defined.
Some people seem to think that humanity hasn't got a hope, but the angels don't think so. They give us every hope. They see us, I think, sort of as teenagers going through a difficult period till we become mature. And they'll help us, of course, but they know that we can do it because that's what we are. We have God within us. Everything has God within. And we have the capabilities to walk the earth in love. And that, to me, is what being human is all about, to learn to do that. And when we do that, I believe we'll, in fact, be higher than the angels because they don't have to deal with the nitty-gritty of ordinary life. And if we can do that in love, they can learn from us.
The major aspect of what's going on with the angels are the transformations in individual lives. And it may not be as dramatic as a sudden rescue by the side of the road. It may be much more subtle, but in the long run, far more powerful. It's when an angel whispers in your ear and says, give up this particular path that one is on, or strive forward with more courage. Forgive that person that you haven't forgiven. To go into a whole new level of spiritual growth, and it actually is accomplished. That's the miracle that is wrought by the guardian angel.
When you get in contact with angels, you get in contact with a very potent, vital force. It's not to be recommended for the casual or the immature. It's a very maturing process. And if you do wholeheartedly decide on this course of action in your life, be prepared for very interesting life.
We hope we've given you some ideas for expanding your awareness of angels in your daily lives. More importantly, we hope you've had a better chance to understand your own unique relationship with that part of you, which is God. Even in this day and age of scientific rational thought, isn't it reassuring to know that there is still room in our beliefs for the existence of angels, and that our society is finally opening to the realization that there's more than enough room for them, certainly more than just on the head of a pin. I'm Derek Partridge. Thank you for joining us.